I don't care who you are or the relationship that I have with you. That door is closed, right? Don't let everyone have access to you. And that is the art of seduction and attraction, because it creates an exclusive. What we're not
Dedication, preservation, take a look inside your salvation. Do every good work, it takes patience, like a butterfly, transformation.
What is up, guys? Sophie here, and I'm back with another video. If you are new to my channel, then don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, and don't forget to hit the description box, check description box, because I always put a lot of stuff in there, including the book, The Art of Seduction. And I'm going to link my other videos that I have done on the art of seduction. And I'm also going to give a disclaimer, because although I feel that the art of seduction has a lot of good information in it, some of it is also toxic and some of it is good information. So that is what we are talking about in the art of seduction. This is mostly good information, and we are going to be talking about the conquête. And this is going to be about why you should adopt the traits of a conquête. And basically, this is where you stop yourself from getting played. Let me explain what a conquête is.
The coquette. If you're convinced that the way to seduce another person is by giving them as much pleasure as fast as possible, you won't get far. Logically, this makes sense, but it doesn't work. Coquettes are also attractive because they are a challenge. We want to conquer them, but they hold the cards. They are independent, and we will have to work extra hard if we want to make them fall in love with us. The strategy of the coquette is never to offer total satisfaction. Stop showering your victim with love and attention. If your love was given to the other person so quickly and easily, it will be perceived as cheap love, and nobody is interested in that. A person that is easy to seduce displays low value. People are attracted to what they cannot have.
Okay. So a conquête, when you think about what makes a conquête so attractive, is something that I continuously preach time and time again, right? Because a lot of the times, deep down, men tend to say and do things, right, to intentionally try to agitate women, because they know that many women want to be validated by other people. Therefore, men play off of their women's need to be validated. They pick and will have the woman jumping through hoops, and the man is saying, oh yes, I have you right where I want you. Why is this problematic? Because these type of women never win. These type of women are always a pick-me. See, what the conquête has understood, and I definitely feel like I have some of the characteristics, which is why I just don't care. People make the mistake in thinking, oh, just because you're single, you don't have any options, but that's not true. And the conquête knows that, right? The conquête knows that, yes, I am single, but never mistake my singleness for I am thirsty and I need your validation, because
As a coquette, you have to learn to draw people in instead of chasing after them. Be confident and detached, and people will chase after you. They will want to possess you because you have positioned yourself as a person of value. If you radiate confidence, people will sense this and you will attract them. If you're insecure, people will also be able to sense this and they will be repelled.
all of this is an option, and it is an air that you set out that says to a man, you are optional in my life, and if you don't act right, then I can simply remove you. And I feel like that's a good place to be in, because at that point, a man is going to do one or two things. They're either going to step up and become the man that you need them to be, or they're going to say your price is too high and I can't be that man, and they're going to bounce. Either way, both of these options are good for you. So let's get into what makes the conquête so attractive, because
providing your target with attention will flatter them, but too much of it will scare them away. It will make you seem weak and needy. One of the most important characteristics of the coquette is independence. Their independence makes them a trophy. The person who can seduce the coquette and make him or her dependent will feel worthy for having accomplished what few could. Another important characteristic of the coquette is self-esteem. Your attitude towards yourself is read by the other person in subtle and unconscious ways. A person with low self-esteem repels people because he is in need of someone who makes him feel worthy.
A lot of women fail to understand this, and this is something that is as old as time. I've had conversations with friends about this, and their failure to understand this is completely mind-boggling. Men are very competitive in nature. They are going to want to get the prize. I have heard men say this directly to my freaking face, and I have seen it. If you don't believe me, and this is not about playing hard to get, This is about setting boundaries, right? Because if you don't believe me, have a man where you set strong boundaries with, where you don't get up every time he calls, text him back every time he texts you because you got other stuff to do, or run or jump every time he wants something. I could bet that you're going to have that man's attention quite fast. Because what did I say? What do most women do? Most women want men's validation and they jump through hoops in order to do that. So when you are doing the opposite of that and you're like, I'm good on my own, men feel like, oh, this is something different. This is something new. This is something that I want because this is something that is not easily attainable. Why is a Mercedes-Benz so awesome? A Range Rover, all of these expensive things, simply because they are not easily attainable and these are not things that everyone can get. And therefore, because they are not easily attainable, that automatically puts you in a position where you are exclusive.
The less you seem to need other people, the more likely others will be drawn to you.
And men like exclusivity. They don't want a woman that they can find on every street corner. I mean, some men might, most men don't. And I can tell you that out of 90% of my exes that I have either dated or been in a relationship, even if they have done me wrong, which most of the time they do, most of the time they come back. I'm going to tell you why. They come back because they feel like, oh, I could find another chick and I don't have to deal with all of these boundaries that Sophia's setting up. But then you leave and you find out that you can't. And then you come back, but then the door is already shut because that's the exclusivity that you miss. My door is not open for you to realize who I am or to realize that you want me. Never make the mistake of thinking that because Sophia is still single 5 years after you let her, that I'm going to go back with you. I don't care who you are and I don't care where you're from. I don't care who you are or the relationship that I have with you. That door is closed, right? Don't let everyone have access to you. And that is the art of seduction and attraction because it creates an exclusivity. So what we're not going to do, we're not going to shower men with unlimited amount of gifts. We're not going to show up knocking on their door. We're not going to bend over backwards and become their wife, even though they have not given us a ring and they don't do anything for us, right? You maintain your responsibility as a single person is to maintain yourself and your life and to maintain and to make yourself happy. And if you have kids, then obviously them too, right? But your responsibility is not the other people that are trying to pursue you to try to make them pursue you harder or to realize how awesome you are. And that's what I mean by no, this is not a game of pretending to be one way or pretending to be independent. No, you really are that, right? You really are that. And when men see that, they can respond to it or they can walk away from it. And really, I think that most of the times, the real men who are about it, they're going to take the bait. I'm sorry. And I feel like when you have this exclusivity about you, the tables turn and it turns into who am I going to choose to be my mate? Not, oh, is he going to pick me? Is he going to pick me? Is he going to pick me? No. Who am I going to choose to pick me? And the caveat to this, and I've said this in my video, and I'm going to put it down below, is that you have to bring something to the table. Don't be one of these chicks trying to, oh, I'm independent, I'm this and I'm that, and you doing bad. Because they're going to be like, I don't believe you. I don't care what games that you play. This is just a game. This is just a facade. Because look at what your life is falling apart, right? No, you have to be this, really, you know? And if you have to fake it until you make it, then try. But really be about your own life, be about your own purpose. Never should somebody come back and like 5 years from now and you be in the same spot because you are always busy, you are always independent, and you don't bow to nobody and you don't have time to cater to other people's needs. And if somebody doesn't want to get on the same page as you, then you're going to continue going on left, leaving them in the dust no matter what. So they can either get on your bandwagon or they can get off of it, right? That's the mentality that you need to have. And if you're going to get off of it, you stand right here. But my bandwagon is going to keep moving forward. And that's what the conquête shows us. Not to tolerate crazy, right? We're not jumping through hoops and proving nothing to nobody. And the moment that you don't want to give me the attention or treat me the way that I want to, treat me the way that I feel I deserve, I reserve the right to leave, not explain anything to you, and to not feel any way about it. And to also show that you have options, not as a game, because ultimately you do have options. Understand that when you have options, I can have a whole bunch of bad options, and that don't necessarily mean that I have to take people up on their options. But at the end of the day, you should always have them. And even understanding that having options, that 9 times out of 10, not all the options are good. But I kind of feel like being aware that you can pull people or have other men to date or other options keeps you grounded and understanding that I don't have to chase after this one option that may not treat me so well, that may not be giving me what I want because I feel that's the only option I can get. Always know in your mind that's not the only option that you could get, that you have multiple options. So, some of the things that you should always do as a woman.
So, what are coquettes not? Coquettes are not jealous. Jealousy suggests you're needy, and therefore dependent. They are also not self-absorbed. People who are self-absorbed have a strong ego, and although many people confuse a strong ego with high self-esteem, they are not the same. In fact, people with a strong ego have a low self-esteem. They don't usually listen to others and they talk about themselves extensively. Avoid talking about yourself so much. It's unattractive.
Be confident and not insecure. Don't be needy. I feel like that's just a thing that every woman should practice, even though most women fail at this. Don't give away sex too easily because this is exclusivity. If everybody been up inside you, I hate to be like that. If everybody been with you and been up inside you, that's the opposite of what a man wants. I don't care what hookup culture tells you. Nobody wants to be bumping into other men that your woman has slept with on every street corner. You live in a small town and you slept with 50 of his people that he know. That's not cute. That's not exclusive. So even if you do all this other type of stuff and he feels like you've been passed around with everybody, that's the exact opposite of what you want. Your cooch should be earned. Your kisses should be earned. Your time should be earned. And that's not a man throwing money at you. That is a man proving to you that he is worth you spending your time on. Feel how you want to feel about it. Men could be like, oh, but I feel like men should go about it the same way. Men should stop spending time with women that aren't worth their time. Everybody should feel that way. If a woman, because I hear this from men too, all women this, all women that. Okay, but if you have determined that woman, because not all women, if you had determined that woman is X, then stop spending time with that woman. If you have determined that she is not worth your time, then don't give her your time. The same for men, the same for friends, the same for anybody. Once you have determined you're not worth my time, stop giving that, because guess what? Your time is exclusive. You can't never get that back. Understand that. And then you also need to have self-esteem and don't be jealous. I have trained myself not to be jealous because what does jealousy signify? I want something that you have, or I have some inadequacy in myself and now you have triggered that. So all of this signifies that if you jealous, that's your problem and you need to go ahead and go fix it. And you can't be confident and have self-esteem leading with wanting to be like another broad or something else, or wanting to have something else, right? Right. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching. I definitely hope that you like this video. Don't forget to check out the book and don't forget to subscribe because I will be covering more artist seduction archetypes. Bye, guys. Not ready for the show to end? It doesn't have to. You can head over to my site where you can read hundreds of articles. And also you can feel free to shop my store where I have all of my products for sale. And last but not least, for even more video content, feel free to visit my YouTube channel where I talk about a wide array of content. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and until next time, stay blessed.